Hey, this is Raulh of Please Act Right. So I was scrolling through my comment section and ran upon this comment that reads, "It's because of men like you teaching other men to make wives pay bills is why these men are weak little boys nowadays. You weak little boys want traditional wives but don't want to be traditional husbands. Why should a wife pay bills if she's being traditional? You need to stop with this nonsense. Give me one good reason why a wife should pay bills." I'm so glad you asked that question, and I'm going to answer it. First and foremost, I never said wives should be made to pay bills. I said if a wife's going to get a husband who is responsible in paying all the bills, then the wife needs to be financially responsible too. Being financially responsible does not mean just paying bills. It also means putting a portion of your money aside for a rainy day. Now I have over 450 videos on my channel, so of course you're not going to be able to find a video where I answered that question. So I'll answer it in this video. So to prove my point of why a wife needs to be financially responsible, let's take a listen to LisaRaye and the different projects she was working on last year.
So what do you got going? What's your latest project? What you got going on? What you working on?
Oh my God, I have really been working a lot. Incredible. I have 2 shows on. One on AMC, all black, called A House Divided. It's Emmy nominated. I have a show that's on BET called Family Business. I just did a movie, a Lifetime movie for TD Jakes for the 7 Deadly Sins, and mine was called Greed. That was a total different character for me. I love playing that character. She was so menacing and so much different than I am. I have my talk show on Fox Soul.
I've watched it.
Called Cocktails with Queens.
I watched it.
All those different projects that she had going on at one time, shouldn't she be sitting on a stack of cash and investments? And let's keep in mind that LisaRaye has been in the entertainment industry for over 2 decades, which means that she's made way more money than the average woman. After all those projects that she rambled off that she had in the works, now take a listen to her about 6 months later talking to TD Jakes about how she's depending on alimony from her divorce in order to financially stay afloat.
I'm divorced now, and the financial hearing is not until next year. It's not until the future, and I'm thinking, I didn't get alimony. I didn't get a divorce settlement. I wasn't awarded anything, not even staying in the house. Come on, this is tied to my mortgage. This is tied to my daughter's college. This is tied to me taking care of my mother. This is tied to my life because I'm in survival mode.
Now, can you explain to me how it's humanly possible that LisaRaye, who has made millions over a few decades, is in desperate need of alimony to stay afloat? The answer? Because she wastes money on nonsense. And here's some proof.
Did your daddy pay for your wedding?
No.
See, that's where I f***ed up at right there.
My father was not living. That's why.
Okay, so.
But it would have still been $1 million wedding, believe that. Okay.
I don't care how much money you make, no wedding needs to be $1 million. LisaRaye, with this spare no expense way of thinking when she spends money, is the reason why most women like her experience financial difficulty down the line. Every time I see LisaRaye on Instagram, everything she talks about and promotes is overpriced named labels. If you're thinking, well, that's just one woman. Well, here's the sad truth. There are literally millions upon millions of people who mishandle money throughout the world. And unfortunately, women are the leaders of the pack. Don't believe me? Who are the biggest spenders between men and women? Women. And the majority of the money that these women waste is usually wasted over overpriced nonsense like Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, big overpriced houses, overpriced cars, wigs and hair weaves, fingernails, butterfly eyelashes, and so on. Now, I'm not saying women can't buy those things, but financially irresponsible women will blow through an entire paycheck on this crap and won't put anything to the side for a rainy day while they're single. So if they get married and their husband doesn't set the rules for how money should be handled, she'll do the very same thing. When you see these women on social media showing off their overpriced garbage, is that the life they're really living? Yeah, they look like they're doing well on social media, but in reality, most of these women are sinking in debt.
True story, y'all. About 10 years ago, I was planning to host a women's conference in Atlanta. And I remember at the time I was following this woman on Instagram who, like, she just oozed fabulosity. Like, she was always wearing designer clothes, had the expensive handbags, was always wearing the red bottom shoes, was taking pictures in expensive restaurants. And I was like, I want her to speak at my conference because I want her to inspire women to level up their life. Well, I got a chance to call her and I was explaining my heart for the conference, and she said to me, Nona, I would love to do this, but I just got evicted from my apartment and I'm actually staying with a friend and sleeping on their couch. I don't know where I'm going to be at by the time of your conference. Y'all, I was shook because that same morning, she posted a picture of herself standing in the middle of the street holding a Chanel bag showing off her red bottom shoes while she was sleeping on her friend's couch. And I realized in that moment that if we're not careful, we will end up comparing our reality to another person's fiction. And this is why I'm killing comparison, because too many of us are feeling like we don't measure up because the measuring stick that we're using isn't even real.
And that's the point that I'm making in this video. As you see these women out in public and on social media looking fabulous in their overpriced outfits, the majority of these women are broke. Why are they broke? Because they mishandle money regularly, just like Lisa Ray. So imagine a woman who has a decent paying job, married to a man who pays all the bills and allows her to do whatever she wants to with her money. What do you think she's gonna do with her money? 9 times out of 10, she's gonna waste it on nonsense. So let's do a quick scenario of how this can go really bad for a traditional man if his traditional or non-traditional wife is not being made to be responsible with the handling of money. Man meets a woman. Man likes a woman and asks her out on a date. Man takes her out on a date and pays for it. Man likes the woman so much, he asks her out on another date and pays for that one too. He's paying for concert tickets, dinners, plays at the theater, and so on. Man is so intrigued with this woman, he decides to propose to her. Who buys the engagement ring? He does. Now, what do women say an engagement ring should cost? Well, they say it should cost 2.5 to 3 months his annual salary. They also say that the man must make $100K or more per year. So according to financially irresponsible women, the ring should cost between $20,000 and $50,000, depending on how much he makes. Now, who's gonna pay for the wedding? Of course, the man is gonna pay for it. And nowadays, these women want a $50,000 to $100,000 wedding. Now, it's time to buy a house. What house do these women wanna buy? If you look at the background of a lot of these women who are single, who have purchased their own home, those houses look expensive. Who's gonna make the down payment on the house? Of course, he's expected to do it. So now he puts $10,000 down payment on a house, and he has to make $2,000 per month or more payments. But wait, we can't stop there. Now she wants a car. And which car do you think she wants? An expensive one, of course. And who's gonna pay for it? He's gonna pay for it. And now, let's fast forward 3, 5, 7, even 10 years. Now keep in mind, this woman hasn't paid not one bill. With the cost of the wedding ring, the cost of the wedding, down payment on the house, monthly mortgage payments, down payment on the car plus the monthly car payments, gas, light, car insurance, upkeep on the house and the cars, food, etc. This man is spending tens of thousands of dollars over a 3, 5, or even 10-year span. How much money has she put into their marriage? Nothing. Now, there's a few ways this could end. 1, if they're lucky, or should I say, if he's lucky, nothing goes wrong and they live happily ever after. 2, the both of them are in the same car and unfortunately, an accident happens. Both of them end up in the hospital only to have the doctor tell them both that their injuries are so severe, it'll take anywhere from 6 months to a year for both of them to recover. And neither of them will be able to work in that span of time. Question: how much money did she put away in order for them to make it through this financial setback? Now, we already know he was paying all the bills, so chances are he wouldn't be able to save anything. And keep in mind, she was working a job making decent money the whole time he was paying all the bills. Chances are she didn't save anything. Can you imagine by the 3rd month, the repo man is repossessing the car? And by the 4th month, the sheriff is sticking a foreclosure sign on their front door, threatening to put them out on the street because they can't pay the mortgage. So what are they going to do now? Move back in with their parents? Or number 3, I'm sure you already know the statistics of the divorce rate in the United States. And 70% of divorces are filed for by women. Stop and think for 1 second. This woman paid no bills the entire 3, 5, 7, or 10 years. She files for divorce and will have the audacity to ask for alimony, only for him to find out that she's either been stacking all her cash in a separate account that he didn't know about, or she blew all the money on a bunch of nonsense that he did know about. This is the type of financial ruin that most men who pay all the bills but do not require their wife to be financially responsible go through. He didn't require her to put a portion of her income into something that compounds in interest where they both benefit, like an annuity. And whose fault would that be? It would be his fault, because he should have required her to be financially responsible. Doesn't she benefit from him paying all the bills? Of course she does. So she needs to do something financially where he benefits from it too. Fellas, I'm warning you, never get involved with a woman who does not have a financial plan where if you're paying all the bills, her money is going into something that you benefit from. Too many women out here nowadays are looking for men with money because they're looking for a retirement plan. And of course, the way to avoid this altogether is to never get married. But for those of you men out there who are still interested in getting married, you better make sure, first of all, the woman handles money well. Secondly, she is not into these so-called brand labels like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Prada. Because a lot of the women who are into these brand labels are financially irresponsible. I tell guys all the time, once you think you found the woman for you, get into her bedroom as quickly as you can. Not to have relations with her, but to see what clothes, shoes, and purses she has in her closet. If you see a bunch of brand labels, run for the hills. Now, me personally, if every time I see a woman and she's wearing brand labels, I'm not interested in dating her. So from now on, when you first start talking to a woman that you may be interested in having a relationship with, ask her this one question. In your future marriage, how should money be handled between the husband and the wife? Should the wife be financially responsible? If she answers, the man should pay all the bills, ask her what should happen with the wife's money. If she doesn't give you an answer where a portion of her money will be put in a place where you both benefit from it, do yourself a huge favor. Run for the hills. More than likely, for you, this woman will be a financial disaster just waiting to happen. So to the young lady who left the comment asking me to give her one reason why a wife should pay bills, there you have it. Because men have to protect themselves financially. No financially responsible man who's going to pay all the bills in a marriage should be marrying a woman who is financially irresponsible. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please act right? My name is Raulh. See you in another video. So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these 2 videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.